not believe that. God said he give you wisdom in your mind to judge his people according to righteousness.
Right. That's if they're wrong.
But hold on,
that's only about yourself. That's only.
No, that's everybody.
No.
Because we got to tell our people what they do wrong. If we don't tell them what they do wrong, this is the result of it. Right here. That is the result of it,
sis. That's a judgment. That's a judgment.
What do you mean that's a judgment?
That's a judgment.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I'm telling them. But I'm not condemning them. I'm not telling them that.
Teach them. Like
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now, sis. I'm teaching you that. I just told you that God said we can judge his people. God said we can judge his people. You see what I mean? Very Christian things to say. Watch this. Keep read that from the top.
God give you wisdom in your heart to judge his people.
To judge what?
His people.
To judge what?
His people.
No, it said to judge yourself.
His people.
His people. There's no sin in judgment. He tells us to judge his people. That's a Tupac song. Hey, shalom, bro, Marcus. Hey, step up for me real quick, bro. How you doing? How you doing, sis? What was your name? Miss Rita, right? Brother Marcus? How you doing, brother Marcus? My name is Maccabeus. My name is Maccabeus, sis. All right, or you call me Mac. All right, I'll do. Question for you. Question for you, sis. Let me ask you something. Do y'all know who y'all are according to the Bible? Who are you, sis?
I'm a child of God.
And I knew you was gonna say that. You know how I knew you was gonna say that? Because you do believe in God, right? And most of our people is in what religion? Christianity, right? Most of our people are Christians, right? And that is I don't want to say it derogatorily, but that is a very Christian thing to say.
And that's a title.
Right?
You know,
it is.
I'm neither Christian or none of that. I'm non-denominational. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and that's all I need to believe in.
But no, that ain't all you need to believe. That ain't all you need to believe. That, and like I said, that's a very Christian thing, right? And I'm gonna tell you this, because I grew up a Southern Baptist. I'm from West Memphis, Arkansas. I grew up a Southern Baptist. And then I went to non-denominational because there's not a Baptist in the Bible. God didn't tell you to be a Baptist, or Pentecostal, or Lutheran, or non-denominational. He didn't tell you to be that neither. You know what he told you to do? Miss Rita, Brother Marcus, right? Deuteronomy 10 and 12. I'm going to show you exactly what God told you to do.
The first thing you have to do is seek the King.
How do you do that, sis?
Talking to God, conversations with God, talking to Him.
So right now, you're telling me that you have a conversation with God and God talk to you back? It's a no. It was a rhetorical question.
Not in the natural sense, no.
Right. I'm gonna show you how God talked to you, Miss Rita. I'm gonna show you how God talked to you. Watch this, read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So let's talk to the children of Israel. It said, now Israel, what do God require of you? Miss Rita, I just asked you the question, what must you do? Right? You said, seek the kingdom of heaven. So that was a question, right? Now Israel, what do God require of you? You're finna read it out of the Bible.
Right.
What God requires of you, Miss Rita. Watch this, read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
So there was a lot, right? It said to fear God, right? Do you know why you should fear God?
Yeah, because He made me.
Yes, but why?
I would be.
Do you know why you should fear God? Because I heard what you said, and I want to deal with that because you said the pineal gland, right? So, to me, what you're saying to me is you really don't believe in God, right? We are gods on this earth. And you know where that saying came from? The Bible, brother. The Bible called you a god. Yes, you are a god. What do a god do? What does a god do? Because everybody say, oh no, brother, we're gods. But what does a god do? What does a god do, sis? He rules. Are you ruling right now? So watch this, sis. We're going to get back to you. Watch this. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 13. To keep the commandments of the Lord.
What must we do?
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
That's what we must do, sis. The first thing is to keep the commandments of the Lord. Psalms 111 and verse 10, right? Psalms 111 verse 10, watch this, read. Ah, see, and that's a very Christian thing to do, say again.
And what we do is true.
Because we all can keep the commandments. Because you don't believe we can, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
You believe we can? We can keep all God's commandments. They are not hard to do.
Yes, we can, but we still mean.
We are. We are.
And you understand?
We are. But when we slip, hold on, sis. Hold on, sis. Hold on, sis. Oh, I'm perfect right now. I'm keeping all God's commandments at this point right now.
I can't say whether they are or not.
You see what I'm saying? But like you said, when we do slip,
Yeah.
we got to get back up
That's right.
and strive to be perfect again.
Ask God for forgiveness.
Right?
And he forgives
Watch this.
us.
Read.
The book of Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10.
Bring it up.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So remember, Deuteronomy 10 and 12 said you must fear God, right? Psalms 111 and verse 10 said the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Sis, that the reason why it's the beginning of wisdom is because when you fear God, you fear His judgments. Oh, I told you not to do this. If you do that, I'm going to do this.
That's right.
It's going to be a judgment. He's our Father, right? Just like your father, when you was young and you did something wrong, He punished you, right? So God said the beginning of wisdom is to fear Him. Why? Because when you fear God, like, oh, He gonna judge me. He told me not to do that. Let me see what He gonna tell me.
But it's already that's a natural thing to do.
Watch this. It's not really, sis.
Listen to me, because you are stronger, taller, and everything. You can actually hurt me. I would be scared of you. So I'd be crazy not to be scared.
No, the Bible said, don't fear no man.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? Because the fear comes from God. Yeah, I understand that, sis. I understand that. That is, right? But God said the reason why you fear Him is because then you will seek out His commandments. You will fear His judgment. So if He told me, if He can judge me, what do He tell me to do and not to do? Let me read and find out. So the fear is the beginning of that wisdom.
That's right.
Because you're going to seek out of His Bible, right? Watch this, read.
A good understanding have all day.
It says a good understanding. A good understanding of the Bible have all they that do what?
That do His commandments.
So you must do His commandments for Him to continue to get you that understanding, right? If we don't do His commandments, we're not going to have a good understanding of the Bible. Watch this. Let me ask you something. Do you wear pants? You know God said don't do it ever for a woman?
Don't wear earrings.
No. He said you can wear that. He said don't make that your number one thing though. First seek Him. But the beauty of a continence cheers a man. That's what the Bible says.
Right.
I don't want to go home to a busted woman. All right? So make sure, sis, that you read that flyer and get with us, all right?
I know.
I don't know why he ain't stopped.
Nobody there.
But that's what we must do, sis. Like, is do His commandments. So you must understand what God's commandments is to do them. All right? You know what all of them are? Let me ask you something. Do you know that you're supposed to wear fringes? Fringes. Exactly, and that's what I mean by when we grow up in a church, we think we know everything about God. That's the reason why I know we don't is because our pastors do not teach us right. They don't.
I think you're wrong to say that because you don't know the pastor. You don't know what they're teaching. You're not in their church. You hear people that say it, but you're not.
You know how I know?
That's you being judged.
You want to know how I know? Oh, we're supposed to judge the world. We're not supposed to condemn it. See, that's a Christian thing, sis.
My Bible says don't judge people. You ain't no judge.
Let's get that.
You can't judge.
Let's get that. What's that?
A man
Let's get Sirach. Hold on, sis. Let's read it out of the Bible instead of thinking we know. Let's get it out of the Bible. Let's get Sirach, chapter 46 and 32.
Yes, sir.
46, 32. Is that what I want? I think that's what I want. Because, like I said, sis, when growing up in the church, like I said, I grew up in the church too.
45.
And we thought we know everything. Watch what God,
45.
hold on, sis. Watch what
45,
God say.
26.
And then we're going to get it in 1 Corinthians, right? Yes. Read.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 45 and verse 26. God give you wisdom in your heart to judge his people.
God give us what?
Wisdom in your heart to judge his people.
God give us wisdom.
After that, don't just stop.
Hold on, sis. Hold on, sis.
See, you.
Sis, hold on. That's a problem with our women. Hold on. It said that God give us wisdom in our heart, not here. That's not our heart. Mark 7:21 said our heart is our mind.
Right.
He give us wisdom in our mind to judge his people. Continue reading.
To judge his people in righteousness, that their good things be not abolished.
It said, so we got to judge them in righteousness.
It's all one piece.
But do you not believe that? God said he give you wisdom in your mind to judge his people according to righteousness.
Right. That's if they're wrong.
But hold on, sis,
that's
but you
only
said
about yourself. That's only.
no, that's everybody.
No.
Because we got to tell our people what they do wrong. If we don't tell them what they do wrong, this is the result of it. Right here. That is the result of it,
That's
sis.
a judgment. That's a judgment.
What do you mean that's a judgment?
That's a judgment.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I'm telling them.
You're judging them.
But I'm not condemning them. I'm not telling them
You have to
that.
teach them. Like you're
That's
doing
what I'm
now.
doing right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now, sis.
And if
I'm
they don't
teaching you
listen,
that.
then if
I
they
just
don't
told you that God said we can judge his people. God said we can judge his people.
No.
You see what I mean? Very
You can
Christian
judge
things to
if it
say.
got something to do with
Watch this.
your life.
Keep read that from the top.
God give you wisdom in your heart to judge his people.
To judge what?
His people.
To judge what?
His people.
No, it said to judge yourself.
His people.
His people. There's no sin in judgment. He tell us to judge his people. That's a Tupac song. Nobody can judge me but God. That's a Tupac song. That did not come out the Bible.
Rock 10 and 1.
That do not come out the Bible. That's nowhere in the Bible that say that you can't judge. Watch this. Let me get that in 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 6.
Let me get that in 1 Corinthians. What I want? 1 Corinthians 6 and 1. 6 and 1? Is that what I want? No, we're going to start at 1. We're going to start at 1. Right? Watch. There's nothing that we can't tell our people. Watch this. Oh, just read from the top. Hold on.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1. There any of you having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust.
That's not what I want.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Verse 2.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Right. It said the saints will judge the world. Read.
And if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
God, that was a question. God said, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? No, we're not.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children